Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel, where we journey through the deepest chapters of history. Today, we're rewinding the clock, not just by centuries or millennia, but by millions of years. We're going back to a time when our own story was just beginning, a staggering 6.5 million years ago. Imagine a world you wouldn't recognize. The vast, lush forests of Africa, once a cradle of life, were undergoing a dramatic and terrifying transformation. The climate was shifting, the rain stopped coming, and the green canopy began to retreat, giving way to an expanding, sun-scorched desert. This was the stage, and on it were our earliest ancestors, the early hominids. These weren't humans as we know them. They were creatures caught between two worlds, the dwindling forests they knew and the vast open savanna they were forced into. For them, this wasn't an exciting new frontier. It was a desperate struggle for survival. Every day was a battle against a relentless enemy, thirst. Think about it. The rivers they had relied on for generations were turning into cracked mud beds. The juicy fruits that once hung low on the branches were disappearing. Water, the very essence of life, became a rare and precious treasure. The hominid groups would have had to travel immense distances under a brutal sun, searching for any sign of a lingering puddle or a hidden spring. This constant search for water would have been incredibly dangerous. The open savanna offered no place to hide from massive predators. Every trip to a potential water source was a gamble, a life-or-death mission. The weak, the old, and the very young would have been the first to succumb to the harsh reality of dehydration. It was a crucible of natural selection, forging our lineage in the fires of adversity. But it is in this desperation that we see the first sparks of ingenuity that would one day define humanity. Did this pressure force them to walk upright more often, to see over the tall grasses and spot water or danger from afar? Did it compel them to develop new social strategies, to cooperate more closely to protect each other on these perilous journeys? These early hominids weren't just passively waiting for the end. They were active participants in their own survival story. They learned to read the land in new ways, following animal tracks not just for food, but for the water sources those animals knew of. They might have learned to dig in dry riverbeds, hoping to find moisture trapped beneath the sand. Every small success was a lesson passed on, a flicker of hope in a parched world. The challenges they faced 6.5 million years ago are almost unimaginable to us today. But their resilience, their ability to adapt in the face of an environmental crisis, is a fundamental part of our own heritage. Their struggle is etched into our DNA. They walked so that, millions of years later, we could run. Their fight against the Great Drought was one of the first and perhaps most important chapters in the epic story of human evolution. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey back in time. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next exploration into the past. Until next time, stay curious.